Good morning, everybody, and thank you for choosing NYNJPA Weather for your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. This video is going to cover the entire weekend because for the first time in 3 years, I am going on vacation and I am thoroughly going to enjoy myself at Atlantic City. But in the meantime, let's get through this forecast first. As you can see, high pressure is starting to build into the Northern Mid-Atlantic. We have a weak trough that's exiting off the Atlantic coast. Few clouds and isolated shower over the Hudson Valley, but not much of a big deal. High pressure is building in, and as you can see, what the shaded areas here, that's the dew points. And as you can see, the dew points are crashing, they're falling off. Drier polar air masses are building into the northern mid-Atlantic, and as a result, today's still going to be hot. We're going to have temperatures around 90, humidity's still going to be up there, but today's the last day for quite a while, or at least through the next 7 to 8 days, where we're going to see this type of hot and humid air mass. As a polar air mass builds in and a marine air mass followed by polar air mass. Let's take a look at this forecast. So here's our water vapor, and you can see that the drier air that's over Canada and northern New York is starting to build south and east. As a result, we're going to start to see cooler air throughout the entire northern mid-Atlantic. By tomorrow, in fact, we'll be struggling around 80, if you want to call that struggling, rather than being around 90, which is far better. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you and I were both sick of these 90-degree temperatures and high humidity. It's time to get a little bit cooler. It's almost football season. Well, yeah, almost football season. Well, anyway, our next disturbance that we're going to be watching for next week is currently over the northern plains. I don't expect that to reach the northern mid-Atlantic until Sunday night. So at least through Saturday night into Sunday morning, excellent conditions. Get out there, enjoy the weather, because it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, this is a little bit of a sneak peek to what you would get as a premium member. I wanted to show this as just to remind everyone that there is a free trial offer available. Because I'm going on vacation this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'm extending it a little bit further than normal, past the 7 days, so perfect time to take advantage of that. Anyway, what we see here is what we call the AMO in the blue and the NAO in the green. Why is this important? Well, this chart goes back to 2009 of last winter. Last winter, if you remember, back in the 2008-2009 winter, we had a positive NAO. We had a lot of storms moving fast. We had like 3 snowstorms. It really wasn't that big of a deal. The AMO, which is called the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation, I always have a hard time saying decadal, I don't know why. Anyway, that feature, when it goes positive, it supports a longer negative NAO phase. And what do we have once we started moving towards a more positive phase in late 2009 and through the 2010 winter? We ended up with a longer negative NAO pattern. And we've had a negative NAO pattern all summer. And that now that the AMO is becoming even more positive, stronger, more of a warm phase, we're seeing more and more of a negative NAO phase. Why am I bringing this up? Because it has a huge impact on the going forecast for the rest of this week as we start to get more and more influence from a negative North Atlantic oscillation. Let's take a look at this forecast. So here we are tonight. For the most part tonight, high pressure is going to be building into the region. Notice in the panels back down here. Now, by the way, this is from the Penn State EWAL website. So excellent website. Everyone go see it. It's a wonderful website for all the weather information you could possibly want as far as models and observations. Now, back to the forecast. For tonight, the dry air builds in. You can see down on the left corner here at 850 millibars. Dry air is dominating. At 500 millibars, the top left, we have a trough starting to drop through the Great Lakes, and that's very important. I'm sorry, New England and the Eastern Great Lakes. And in the meantime, we start to have our negative NAO pattern starting to develop. But the key here is that tonight is going to be wonderful. Let's take a look at Saturday. So here we are on Saturday. High pressure starting to drop down and move off the New England coast. We still are under a dry regime. It's very nice, comfortable conditions. Not much really to worry about so far, as we basically are in for a wonderful, wonderful period of weather for Saturday and Saturday night. But here we are on Sunday night. Now, notice how things are starting to change. Our trough starts to dive down through the northern mid-Atlantic. We start to have a lot of lifting. Notice the red in that left on the left map there. That's called PVA. That's going to spawn an area of low pressure around northern Virginia, the Delmarva Peninsula. Meanwhile, the high pressure that's over the Canadian Maritimes, that's going to push moist air from the Atlantic into the northern mid-Atlantic. So, what do we have in combination here? We have moisture coming in from the Atlantic. We have an area low pressure. We have upper level lifting. That means clouds and showers starting Sunday night, and it's going to continue into Monday morning. Some of these showers are going to be heavy at times, but for the most part, they're going to be scattered and light. But a few showers are going to be able to produce heavy downpours, so keep an eye on that. It's not going to be a total washout on Sunday night, and by any means at all. However, I would keep an eye out just in case you're driving along. If you run through a heavy downpour, slow down a little bit, take your time. It'll be over in 30 to 40 minutes, and then another shower will come through. Now, notice on Monday night, sorry about that. Monday night, we still have our trough. It's actually cut off into an upper level low. We have our low pressure system sitting off the Delmarva coast, high pressure over the Canadian Maritimes. East wind is shoving moisture right into the northern mid-Atlantic. Again, not a total washout, but there's going to be sky showers all over the place and definitely overcast conditions. Next week is not the week to go on vacation or go to the beach or go to ball games. It's a good time to go to the library or a museum. Ben Franklin Museum, that's an excellent place to go. But do not go outdoors or plan a lot of outdoors activities with this type of conditions, because you can see on both the 850 millibar and 700 millibar maps, both of them are on the bottom, by the way, they both have a lot of moisture. See that dark green? That means moisture above 90%. Okay, relative humidity above 90% at both of these levels, which means clouds and showers. Now here we are on Tuesday night. Well, not much has changed. Is this Monday or Tuesday? No, trust me, it's Tuesday night. And the reason why I say that is because the pattern really doesn't change. The reason why is because what we have is a negative NAO pattern. Notice that there's a weak trough, and this isn't the most impressive negative NAO pattern by any means, but we do have a weak trough over the Canadian Maritimes, and that's basically blocking everything up. That upper level low cannot leave, and as a result, we keep our low pressure system around the Delmarva Peninsula, our high pressure system over the over the Canadian Maritimes and northern New England, and as a result, we continue with threat of scattered showers and certainly overcast conditions. There's going to be a little bit more drier air at 850 millibars by this time period, but that's mostly because we have stronger lifting centered around this upper level low, and where you have strong lifting, you have to have some sort of sinking motion in the atmosphere to counterbalance that lifting, and so that's going to start to impede a little bit on the rainfall over the Philadelphia metropolitan area and the southern New York City metropolitan area. Let's say southern Long Island, the 5 boroughs in New York City, but to the north of that, in Yonkers and the Bronx, you're still going to be under the threat of more showers. But still, the overall theme here is overcast skies, scattered showers. Not much is really going to be changing. The good news is that by Wednesday night, the trough starts to lift over the Great Lakes, and that's going to kind of shift the entire pattern and pick up this upper level low. So by this point, we're going to have a cold front approaching from the west. That cold front is going to shove all the rainfall out of the northern mid-Atlantic, and as a result, we're going to start seeing some clearing skies by Wednesday night. So continued shower threat through Wednesday afternoon, and by Wednesday night, one more last hurrah, and then we start getting clearing by Wednesday night into Thursday morning. By Thursday evening, the trough starts to lift into the Canadian Maritimes, taking all the moisture with it. Dry air builds in, and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week are going to be beautiful. So as a recap, remember, Saturday, this whole weekend, beautiful. Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, overcast conditions, scattered showers, and then wonderful conditions return once again for the end of next week. Thank you for choosing NYNJPA Weather as your weather source. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.